From an early age, I have always loved music. Some of my fondest memories are listening to vinyl, allowing the rhythm and the melodies to just enter my soul. But it always seemed that musicians were somehow special, set above their abilities and their seemingly just mystical qualities. I think that I developed a strong sensitivity to criticism. You see, I was born with a very unique body. Part of my spine didn't finish growing, and the lower part that did was fused together at birth. It is difficult to describe what it's like having a childhood like mine. Sometimes being in a wheelchair, sometimes in an electric wheelchair, sometimes in a walker, and sometimes with crutches. I had always felt that I was different, less than, crippled. Fortunately for me, I had the opportunity of being mainstreamed as a child. Even though I had a handicap, I had the opportunity of being educated with children who weren't physically disabled. The downside of this was that I had to be bused all the way to the other side of town, about an hour away. And this gave me a sense of being even more different, even more less than, if you will. Unfortunately for me, having a physical disability meant that I was bullied mercilessly. I loved to play, tried sports. My spirit was strong, but I was never quite agile enough as the other kids. And you could essentially say that I was tortured. Having PTSD in childhood related to intense criticism made me question trying anything that might cause embarrassment. However, as the Greeks noted, the muses do sing to us. Whether we listen or not is up to us. So, as a teenager, I tried to learn piano. And unfortunately, I had the experience of having very critical and mean piano instructors, one after the next. It seemed that I was always doing something wrong. Always something wrong. And then I just stopped playing. As it happens, however, some years later, my first year of junior college, where I had to again take a bus quite some distance, I had to wait for the bus to come and would play on the little pianos. And though there was quite a bit of criticism still echoing through my ears, the idea of becoming a musician and playing an instrument was still very active in my spirit. I decided to try again. Only this time, after a short period of time playing the piano, I realized that not only could I play the piano, but that I had always really wanted to learn the guitar. Now, this was probably one of the most difficult instruments I had ever tried. Was it daunting? Oh, yeah. Was it challenging? Absolutely. But was it possible? Now that was the question. So, an interesting thing happened when CDs came out. I actually bought a CD player before I bought CDs as a way of just trying to encourage myself, forcing myself to get the CDs. And wouldn't you know, after some time I did actually get those CDs. And so I applied that same heuristic to the guitar. I found myself at Mantova's 2 Street Music Shop in Eureka a few months ago, just looking at the guitars, feeling them out, and one of the salesmen came over and actually laughed as he said, "You have really good taste in guitars." Now, I didn't know one guitar from the next, and it turned out that I was actually playing one of the most expensive guitars in the shop, and having an intuitive sense of this encouraged me to actually buy the guitar that was in my price range, the BC Rich Villain, and it was a beautiful guitar. I didn't know why, but I really liked that guitar. It was a kind of epiphany, a manifestation, a striking appearance, just like the Greeks had said. I have to admit that for some weeks, the guitar sat before I gained courage to even try. I knew that if I went the same early route as the piano, that I would probably stop playing. So I decided to try and teach myself. And this exploration continues to this day. Do I find the instrument challenging? I do. Is it easy? It is not. But it is not so esoteric anymore. Not so mystical. Am I Jimmy Page? No. Will I ever be again? No. But there is something about extending ourselves into creativity, regardless our past traumas. We, as a people, are very lonely and very isolated in the digital age. And we all suffer from a kind of trauma in this life. Music has a way of connecting us to nature, to the universe, and to spirit, whatever you want to call it. And the more I play the guitar and the piano, the more I feel connected to life.